advice for beginners starting out? Well, I think that, the most difficulty that the beginners have is just that sort of relaxed feeling that we all have without having that starting line there and 1,000 people next to you. And really, it's the ambivalence or apprehension about the swim. And, I always tell the beginners, I said, the thing that you can control is not that person right next to you, but you can control your breathing. And as simple as that sounds, it's taking a slow, deep, methodical inhale. So when they turn their head, to actually kind of exaggerate it and look up at the sky. The sky is generally comforting. Those sea of orange heads or green heads bobbing around them and all the flurry underneath, that's what's troubling, and that gives them anxiety. So when they take their breath right off the get-go, if they just kind of look up at the sky, take a slow breath, and actually feel themselves filling themselves up with that air, that fresh air, and putting their head down, that will allow them to relax and to be calm and set the tone for the rest of the race. And I've just found over the years that, is that the golden nugget? It certainly is a helpful one. The best triathlon advice. Well, I thought I had everything organized and I had it all together, but when I stopped racing in '89 due to some injuries, and I decided to come back and do Ironman in 1994, I had this 5-year hiatus, and I just felt like I was bombarded with life. My 2 boys were tiny little boys. They were born during that time block. And I wanted to get in shape, and I wanted to kind of prove to myself that I could come back to the level that I was at before. And I went to see a friend of mine who was a sports psychologist. He was teaching at CU Boulder, where I live. And he gave me this one little message. He said, "Dave, you're really good at it, but you're not good at it right now." And I said, "Well, what is that?" And he said, "Do what you can do at the moment." And I just remember that line. It always resonates with me, and I've told it to a lot of athletes. Do what you can do at the moment. And it really means just to be present and not try to forecast what's going to happen. And so, certainly in a race, the last thing you want to do is to think about, gee, I hope I feel good the last 100 meters, and you've got 4 hours to go. You want to be present. So, I've kind of followed that mantra, not just in racing, but kind of in life, because I could procrastinate, I could mentally beat myself up, and it's kind of a good, simple message for life. What mental techniques do I use when I keep going? I always think it's when I exercise, and I still have the same passion and conviction that I did 30 years ago or 20 years ago. If I feel good, I'm a little bit sleep deprived at the moment, but if I feel pretty solid, I always play this game, and I said exercise is a game. It's not painful. There's a barometer of discomfort, so be able to ratchet up that discomfort to a certain level and say, hey, how does that feel? Well, how does it feel is you have to do a physical inventory. So you take a deep breath. How's my forehead feel? Is it relaxed? Are my shoulders relaxed? Am I relaxed in my stomach? Put all your energy into your working muscles. If I'm on the bike, look at your legs. That's a good thing to do. Make sure those muscles are working. That causes your body to have more clarity, and it also causes you to just think right at that moment, what am I doing? So it's a good little mental game that you can play to be present. And the other thing is that even the worst athlete, and people, if I go in a room and I talk to athletes and they say, well, who's a bad swimmer? I'll get 25 hands up. Or who's the worst swimmer? And then 25 hands stay up. And I said, well, there are days where it just flows. So if you weren't in the pool with these other 25 people, some of you are going to say, gee, I can't believe how easy I feel. I feel like Michael Phelps today. I feel like the Brownlee brothers. I'm just flowing along. And we all have those adjectives that we sense when we're doing something fluidly. And it's good to use those adjectives. And for example, I'm flowing easily. I feel powerful. I feel in control, or whatever it is. It may be phrases or mantras that you use, and it's something that you need to think about before you step up to the starting line.